One of the most elegant flowers in this collection is the Clematis Poet. Now, this is a particular variety that I've chosen for you all. It does only come in this purple blue double blooming flower, but it's beautiful and will add, a uniqueness to your paper gardening. So I've got some pieces here, and you'll notice there are 4 sizes of the petals, and you're going to cut 1 of each. Then you've got leaves that you can cut 2 to 3 times, depending on how much you want. And then for the sepals, you've got this, I guess, star shape maybe, or snowflake shape. Cut this 3 times, and then the center once. So let's get started. I'm going to get started with the centers. They are right in the center. They're lightly colored and stacked on top of each other to make a really full center. The first thing I'm going to do is give the appearance of the darkness on the bottom. So if you just take your, this is YG 8.5, which is fern. Oh no, this is moss, sorry. And just color that center. And these are lightly colored sepals. So I'm using Y 2.0, which is an Eiderflower. So it's just a very pale yellow. Now, it's not to say if you want to save some time and you have a pale yellow cardstock, you could do that and still darken the center with the darker green. So you do need to cut 3 of this star shape, and then 1 of the one you twirl. And you're going to take your scissors, and we're going to cut these in half. You're also going to cut the one that you roll up in half. Those little sepals that are with these nice sharp scissors. That's easy to do. Now, the reason why I have my molding pad out here is we want to get the shape of these to really tighten up because they're stacked one on top of the other. So I'm going to use my small ball stylus. Don't need scissors anymore. And you're just going to cup the centers. Get them to stand up. And then let's grab a little bit of glue here. And actually, I'm going to pull in my, I call it my dirty pad or my gluing pad. Keep this one nice for shaping. And we're going to stack these one on top of the other. But they're very open at this point. So we want them to stand up tightly in the center of a flower. So I'm going to put it right here in the 1/4 inch. And with my small ball stylus, I'm going to gently push it so it sits down in there. Now, some of these curve in, so we're going to just roll some of these center ones towards the center a bit. You do have some that fluff out to the outer side, but if you take your tweezers while it's sitting in your molding pad here, it's easy to do. So it should look something like that. And then to hold the shape, I use just a fine mist and hit it. So I'm going to set this aside a second, because we'll do that lastly. And then I'm going to roll up my center and set that aside. This is the piece that's important, so it keeps it looking like it's a closed sepal. So grab a hold of that little tail and just roll it closed. You can hold it there for a second and then it slips off easily. And you can fluff it just a little, but again, I want these to be pretty tight, so I'm not going to fluff it out too much, and I might even roll down some of those little filaments there just to give it a little closed end. And I'll just set that aside. Now let's do some coloring. Like I said, these clematis are just only come in this purple blue color. So what I've put together is two different colors. I've got a BV 2.3, which happens to be hyacinth, and then I've got BV 1.4, which is wild violet. So that gives me my bluish purple color. And I'm going to start with the blue as the underbase and then go over it with the wild violet. Is it wild violet? Yeah, wild violet. And it blends beautifully. These olos are nice and juicy, so you can get a beautiful blending. And it's just the perfect shade. Now, there are other double clematis for sure, but this was one that I chose just for this collection. I have one in my garden, and I think it's in perfect harmony with the rest of my flowers. It's showy, but, you know, in a beautiful kind of way. It blends beautifully with my hydrangeas, my lilies, and it climbs on my railing on my porch. I flip it over, and I'm just going to color the back with the wild violet. It almost has this unique elegance about it. I think you'll really enjoy it with your bouquets because it will make a statement. And there's a lot of you that love this bluish purple color. Now, if I see any areas I want a little bit darker, but I kind of like some of the shading around. So we'll shape it in just a second. So these are really, not only are they doubles, but as you can see the way I've created the edges, they're roughly. So I'm going to start with my medium ball stylus to get some ruffling. Now, you know, you can also use your loop tool, but you're going to have to be more gentle with it and do it, you know, over stages. Maybe, you know, get some, do a little bit and keep intensifying the strokes. But with this medium ball stylus, especially on this larger piece, maybe on these smaller ones, it's easier to do with your loop tool for sure to get those tinier ruffling. Now, like all clematis, you have this, I won't call it a stem line, but you have this definition of a line down the center. So if you take your leaf tool, and the way it's curved is perfect, just go down the center to really accentuate that line. Now all I have to do is, since I'll pinch a little bit here around my tweezers, just to bring that petal in a little bit more. And then if you like, you can also tweak, you know, do some bending and tweaking of the outside here. I kind of twist. That'll give it even more of a ruffled effect. And you've got these little points you can twist around with your tip of your tweezer. It's nice to use these self-closing ones because they act like a vise. And see that little tip there? I can just twist and give it some definition. There we go. And then finally, for the center, use your medium ball stylus and cup it. So we've got the pieces set aside there. I'm going to show you how I colored the leaf. These are also, like the violets, kind of a yellowish green. So I'm going to start with my two favorite greens, my YG 8.7, which is the darker, the fern. And I like that at the base where the stem line comes in. And I'm just going to give it some shadowing up. And then I'm going to switch around to the YG 8.5 and go ahead and blend up with the rest of the color. But I want these kind of a yellowish green. So I'm going to pull in my YG 2.5, go over the front of it again, and you get some beautiful shadowing, and then flip it over and do the YG 2.5 on the back. So now with it face down or right side down, you're going to add that stem line using your leaf pad and your leaf tool. Now these have a dark stem line to them. So I'm actually going to use my darker green, which is that bright yellow green extra dark pan pastel. And let me grab my, oh, there it is. And I'm just going to brush down the center of that stem line. Really accentuates it. And then you can go back. The lines are embossed for the veining, but I like to go over them once again, just to really, especially on the leaf pad, it deepens those embossed lines and really makes them show up nicely. And then I do my leaves coming at it from the tip rather than the stem line. I still pinch that, but then you can kind of gently roll the outer part so the leaf doesn't look so flat. And then again, here, tipping it. And when I get to this end of it, I twist and give it a little turn. So you've got that little tip at the end nicely tweaked. So I've chosen a slim line because I've done 3 of these beautiful flowers. And now it's just a matter of putting them together. So use your silly applicator here from your silly pot. And the large one goes down first. Is that the largest? You know what? Up. Let me see. Oh, I guess it was. Sorry. There. Had to question myself here. And then you've got the next size. And again, just alternating. And you just go by size. And this one's going to go in here. You're starting to see that ruffled look with the double. And then lastly, we've got the little piece that goes in the center. Tweezers. So here's that center sepal. Oops, that one got bent up. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue in the center there. And set that in. And then you've got your little piece that I've left kind of tight. All we do is add some leaves. you can see what this really has a unique elegance about it. There's just not enough words to describe this. This is really a beautiful flower. And it goes perfect, you know, with 3 of them here, or you could definitely do just 1 in your bouquet. So I'm going to add some berries just for interest. These are the little berries from the viburnum. I'll put them up in there. Make sure they're locked down. There we go. Now we just need to add our ladybug. Let me grab my little tweezers here. The ladybug comes with the wild violets, so if you're collecting ladybugs to add, let's see, put her right up there. I'm not worried about the glue showing because this is the Kids' Choice and it dries perfectly clear. And then I'm going to shine up her shell a bit. Put a little bit of gloss on her. There we go. And then I've chosen one of the quotes. This is by W.B. Yeats. That's William Butler Yeats. He was born in Dublin, Ireland, in the 1800s. He's considered a 20th century poet, author, playwright, and he actually won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1923. This one says, "Happiness is neither virtue, nor pleasure, nor this thing, nor that, but simply growth. We are happy when we are growing." How true that is. I hope you enjoy this collection.